New here at 6 o'clock, border security continues to be a top issue in Washington. Recently, Western North Carolina Congressman Chuck Edwards visited the border in Arizona, and it was a part of a trip with the House Oversight Committee. The congressman and the committee then held a field hearing with local sheriffs along the border. And for more on the congressman's visit to the southern border, we now want to bring in Representative Edwards himself. So, Congressman, thank you as always for joining us. I think first and foremost here, what was your biggest takeaway from your visit there at the southern border in Arizona?
My biggest takeaway is just how serious the problem is, irregardless of the attempts by the current administration to try to suggest to us that the border is secure. It is clearly not secure. And the folks of Cochise County there in the Tucson sector are being overrun by illegal immigrants.
Well, what is the main problem here? And you're saying it's not secure, but how are we able to secure it? Not only that, but to be able to process individuals who come over or may be able to deal with them properly, is because we even look at situations in New York City where it seems that there are immigrants lining the sidewalks there. So how do we solve this problem?
The main problem is that the Biden administration fails to acknowledge that there's a problem. In fact, it almost seems as though they are inviting illegal immigrants from other countries. There are many suggestions that say that might just be the case. But the folks there at the Tucson sector will tell you, and it's very impactful. It was very impactful for me to hear from them firsthand, from Department of Homeland Security's IG office to the Cochise County Sheriff's Office, just the tragedies that they're experiencing and how our border is being overrun. There are actually literally sections that are open, meaning we were taken to a floodgate. There's a 15-mile stretch of the border there in the Tucson sector, where there are a number of floodgates that are ordered to be left open by the Corps of Army Engineers from June 15th to October 15th so that water can flow from the Mexican side to the U.S. side. It couldn't be more open. There's 3 small strands of barbed wire that can't even hold the cows out that are on the other side of that wall that's designed to keep folks out. There's a scouting hut just a few feet on the Mexican side of that border, where the cartel scouts live and watch for the Border Patrol. There's a cartel member that sits on a hill under a tree with binoculars, and they've got a 15-mile stretch that they can observe and direct when it's okay to send immigrants over, and which section of the fence that they need to go to. There's literally dozens of sections of that fence that have been cut out by the cartels with plasma cutters. And then the Border Patrol will come right back and weld those sections back into place and put a date on them where they were replaced. Some of those sections have been replaced 5 or 6 times. There's just not a willingness by this administration to admit that there's a problem and take any significant action to secure the border.
So after seeing all of that, taking away this experience, what do you want to see done? Is it finishing the wall? And we know that would take some time. So in the meantime, do we need to send more National Guardsmen? What are some tangible things that we can do to fix those problems that you talk about?
We need to get the Senate to take up the Border Protection Act. The United States House passed the most significant piece of border protection legislation in our entire history. It contains all the components that are necessary to take securing our border seriously. It adds funding to complete the wall. It puts border agents at the border. It changes the asylum process. It in itself takes all the actions that are necessary. We need to urge the Senate. We need to urge Mr. Schumer to take this bill up immediately, and let's get it over on the president's desk and ask him, let's demand of him that he make our country secure. We're being invaded, and that administration, the White House, is allowing it to happen.
A lot of national polls show that there's a strong support for a path to citizenship. For your opinion, taking away what you saw at the southern border, where does that play out in all of this and securing the border to make sure that there is a path to citizenship in place?
The path to citizenship is for folks that come and apply to be here legally. And there were 1 million of those admitted into the United States through legal processes last year. We cannot have a path to citizenship that rewards illegal activity.
The southern border has been a focus for quite some time. It'll be definitely in the spotlight for 2024. So, Congressman, thank you as always.
Thank you. I appreciate the chance to chat with you this afternoon.
Now, on the issue of border security, the White House has said, quote, the Biden-Harris administration has secured more resources for border security than any of the presidents who preceded him, deployed the most agents ever, more than 23,000, to address the situation at the border, prevented record levels of illicit fentanyl from entering our country, and brought together world leaders.